So you're in nursing school and you're trying to figure out what is the best way to study. You're stuck, you're lost, you don't know what to do, you're struggling with your grades, you feel like you study all the time but you get nothing done. I understand because I've been there. In this video, we're going to be talking about the 5 study hacks that I've used that saved my behind in nursing school, and I believe it will save yours as well. My name is Abby, and I'm a registered nurse. I completed nursing school with a near 4.0 GPA near the top of my class. I also passed the NCLEX on the first try with the minimum number of questions required, and I secured my preferred hospital position. These 5 study hacks were going to help you because they are not generic, and these are the exact same hacks that I use to help myself. So let's get into the first hack, which is called the teach back method, which is also known as active recall. The teach back method allows you to understand and identify gaps in your knowledge as you're teaching the information to other people. Here's how you can follow the teach back method. First, select the topic. Then take the time to understand that specific topic or concept. Once you have that down, take the time to decide who you want your audience to be. You can choose a peer, such as a classmate, a friend, or even a family member. Or if you decide that you don't want to do that, you can also record yourself teaching yourself the information out loud. As you're teaching people the topic that you chose, you want to be able to use visual cues and examples that you believe would help you understand the information better, as well as help the audience member understand the information as well. If during the teaching process you realize that you're having trouble explaining a certain concept, or you feel like when you ask the audience member to summarize what it is they just learned from you, they're unable to do that, then you recognize that there is a knowledge gap. Take the time for you and the audience member to review that material in detail so that you get a clear understanding of what it is that's going on with that specific topic. Once you go through those gaps in knowledge, you can use that for your follow-up study sessions so that you can review and teach back that information to the audience member so that they are able to understand and get a clear picture of what exactly is going on with that specific concept. You can revisit the material later so you can reinforce your learning by going over the same concepts so that you can reinforce and understand that, hey, this is the information that we went over before. Now that we've recognized our knowledge gaps, let's go over the information again to see if we got a clear understanding of what exactly is going on. By doing this, you are able to retain the knowledge better. Now, you can use visual cues to help reinforce the teach back method. One of the visual cues that I like using is flashcards. Flashcards are very beneficial because not only do they help simplify complex nursing topics, they help reinforce the information I'm learning, they help me recall the information quickly, and they help boost my confidence. Now, I mentioned Quizlet. Quizlet is a learning platform where you can make flashcards any way you want. You can add pictures, diagrams to it. You can format your flashcards so that you're asking yourself true or false questions, fill in the blank, etc. It is very versatile and helpful for you to use and to help you improve your studying. If you're curious to learn more about how I've created my Quizlet decks, you can get access to my Quizlet profile by following the link in the description below. That way you're able to see and understand how I made my flashcards, and you can use those formats to make your own. This will benefit you, especially for courses such as pharmacology and med-surg. If you want to see specifically those Quizlet decks, I offer access to those online as well. Just follow the link in the description below. Now we're going on to the second study hack, which is looking at question banks and practice tests. Now, this is self-explanatory in that by utilizing question banks and practice tests, you're able to go through the information quicker, you're able to understand your gaps in knowledge, and you're able to apply the information that you're learning in class. The best thing for you to do is to find quality question banks where you can find appropriate question material to help you prepare for your classes and the NCLEX. The 3 resources that I've used to help me study in nursing school and for the NCLEX include Archer, UWorld, and ATI. Now, that's what I've used. You can use those three resources, or you can find free resources online. I'm sure there's many options out there for you to choose from. The most important thing, however, is that as you're going through these practice questions, you want to be able to review them. Look at the rationales, the explanations to the answers for those questions. You want to do this regardless of whether you got the answer correct or incorrect. The reason why you do this is so that you're able to recognize gaps in knowledge, you're able to see what you do or do not understand, and you're able to reinforce the learning that you have gained from applying those skills and the information that you've retained in class onto a question. The third study hack is to use the Pomodoro technique. Now, the Pomodoro technique is very popular. For those who don't know what it is, it's basically a system of how to study. So, the Pomodoro technique, the classic form is that you set your timer for 25 to 30 minutes, and that's the amount of time that you study. Then you give yourself 5 minutes as a break. You repeat that process over and over for as many cycles as you want, ideally from 4 to 8, 25 to 30-minute sessions of studying for the day. That way, you're able to give yourself the time you need to focus, to hone in on your skills, to hone in on the knowledge that you're trying to review and retain in your classes. What I really like about the Pomodoro technique is that it helps you retain the information better. It helps you focus really well on studying in short bursts, and it helps prevent burnout. When implementing the Pomodoro technique, make sure you set up your study space so that there's no distractions, and you also have a timer to set the amount of time you want to study. Put the timer on for 25, 30 minutes or however long you want. Sit down, study for that specific amount of time, then take an appropriate amount of time for your break. Then, after that, repeat the cycle for as many times as you like throughout the day. It is very simple and easy to follow. The next study hack is to utilize mind maps. Mind maps are another visual aid to help you study. How it's set up is that you want to choose a main topic. Say, for example, we choose heart failure. With heart failure, you want to break down that main topic into 3 to 5 subtopics. Say, let's use the causes of heart failure, the symptoms of heart failure, and the medications that are used to treat heart failure. Then what you want to do is to expand on each subtopic, such as with the medications to treat heart failure, you just expand and talk about, say, 3 to 4 meds and their side effects. For the symptoms of heart failure, you can talk about what those symptoms are. For the causes, you go into detail with that, etc., etc. To make mind maps fun, try to incorporate elements such as colors, shapes of the boxes. Make it fun, make it interactive, because learning is supposed to be a fun experience. And when you make learning fun, it makes retaining the information way easier. Another key with mind maps is that you want to keep them short and sweet. You don't want to get into the nitty gritty details because mind maps can be ever expanding, and you want to keep it simple so that you're able to retain the information easier. Now we go on to the fifth study hack, which is to have group study sessions with a purpose. Now, the important thing with studying in a group is that it's important to have specific goals and directions to follow. A lot of times when people study in a group, they struggle because they divert from the topic. They talk about what they did today. They talk or gossip about so and so. They don't focus on why they met as a group in the first place to study a certain concept. So before you go in and have those group sessions with other people, this is what I recommend. I recommend that you be on the same page with all the other members in the group. Talk to each other and tell each other, okay, what topic are we going to be talking about today? Then have each person in the group have a specific role. One person looks at the symptoms of a disease. Another person looks at the cause. The next person looks at the drugs that are involved in treating the disease, etc., etc. You come together with everyone else in the group. You go over the material, each one takes their turn going over what they studied, and then you guys can discuss and talk and give each other ideas on how you guys can improve. So it's basically like a massive teach back method where instead of one to all, you're teaching each other. The cool thing about studying in a group this way is that you guys are collaborating. You're able to communicate to each other in a way that shows you where your knowledge gaps are and what information you do know, and utilize that information that you do know to teach other people to reinforce your learning so that not only are you prepared for the exam, but your friends are as well. Group studying works because it also keeps you and your friends accountable. By keeping each other accountable, you motivate each other to study better. And I feel like that's just a great thing to have. Another tip when utilizing group study is to set a consistent schedule. Say you meet every Monday for the month to go over the topics that you learned in class, or do whatever you need to do to meet frequently depending on the schedule of each member in the group. Also, use technology. You don't have to meet in person. That's why by meeting on Zoom, it can be way easier. People can study from home and just come online and talk and then be on their merry way. You can use Zoom or Google Meets or whatever platform you use to talk to each other online. I mainly use Zoom when having group study sessions because I find that very easy for me to use, and everyone else really liked it. Now, those are all the 5 study hacks that we talked about in this video. I hope you take with you this information and apply it so that you're able to get the grades that you want and succeed and excel in nursing school. The important thing to remember, however, is that with this knowledge, you may think that you know everything to do well in nursing school. However, there's one important key thing that you need to remember, and that is mindset. Without having a positive and motivating mindset, you won't get anything done. You won't be able to motivate yourself to have the discipline and consistency to study and to keep going even when things get hard in class or in school. So it's important for you to remember that without mindset, these 5 study hacks will mean nothing. Also, when talking about group studying, the key factor that I believe what makes group studying very beneficial for some is that it's the concept of having a community. Communities can be very helpful because they help form a support group where you guys can push each other and motivate each other in order to do well. I know that you want to achieve the dream outcome of academic success in nursing school. I also understand that you're struggling with lack of focus, lack of motivation, no direction, confused as to how to study and prepare in nursing school. This is why I put together a 14-day challenge for you to prepare and to be able to be more productive and know what to expect in nursing school and how you can be on the top of your game. This challenge will go live in a couple of weeks. I will put down a date in the description for when the challenge will go live. If you're interested in the challenge, just click the link in the description below for more information. Regardless, I hope you take with you the information that I've talked about in this video so that you're able to achieve that dream outcome of getting that near or perfect 4.0 GPA. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.